Alright, hey guys, this is Andrew, and this video is about sharing my story with social anxiety, and specifically what I've done to overcome, in most part, a lot of the challenges that I associate with, I guess it is a disorder, or a challenge, or however you want to frame it. So, just to give some context, I am 26 now, and I've probably been suffering with some form of social anxiety since I was about 6 years old. So it's a pretty long time, 20 years. It's not a little blip. It's a good chunk of time, and unfortunately, during a lot of that time, I also suffered from depression and anxiety as well at the same time, so pretty multifaceted. So essentially, in the first year of university, I didn't really know that I had any of these things going on, but I broke up with my first long-term girlfriend, and that threw me into this really powerful negative loop in terms of my thinking patterns and how I kind of felt about myself. And then all of these things started to surface. Really intense emotional trauma, a lot of anxiety, a lot of nervousness, challenges with people felt more highlighted, a lot of anxiety. I was worried about, if people liked me, what would happen if I went to parties, would people judge me, and it was very isolating at times. And what I was saying at the beginning is, I feel like I've mostly solved, for myself, social anxiety, and it's come through a lot of hard work. It's come through working with therapists and coaches, someone who's excellent at working with social anxiety is someone named Dr. Aziz Gazipura. He specializes in social confidence and has a place called the Center for Social Confidence out in Oregon, Portland, in California. So I've worked with him for a little bit of time. I've also done other work with different life coaches, and I'm still seeing a psychiatrist to this day, today, because I still have symptoms with depression as well as anxiety, but for the most part, everything is under control and handled, and it is one of those things that I feel like, it's not just in the past, you with depression specifically, you can have episodes of depression. So I think depression is challenging to solve, but I firmly believe for myself that social anxiety is something that can be solved. You can reduce the amount of kind of terror you feel around other people. You can reduce the amount of isolation you feel. You can feel more connected with people. You can learn how to communicate better. You can build skills and make your life a whole lot better, because it can be very brutal being in the depths of social anxiety, feeling isolated, having different disorders on top of that, like depression or bipolar or anxiety or whatever you're going through. But yeah, it's something that specifically social anxiety can absolutely be overcome. So I felt like it's an important video to make. I'm going to be putting out more videos just about what my process was like and what I've gone through, and specifically some of the steps that I've taken to address what's gone on. And just as an aside, one of the huge things that's helped me in all of these areas is overcoming the shame and stigma and negativity that can be associated with these things from other people, but also ourselves, and how we talk to ourselves about these things. So if we shame ourselves, or if I say nasty things to myself internally in my mind, if I feel anxious when I'm meeting someone and maybe I don't want to be anxious, and maybe I say, Andrew, you're such an idiot, why did you do that, you fucked up, you're stupid, and blah, 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 blah. So learning how to change that dialogue internally and the way that we talk with and to ourselves is huge. And it goes a very long way. But I'm going to leave it there. I don't want it to be too long, this initial video. But if you are someone that's struggling with social anxiety and depression and anxiety for that measure, just know that there is hope. You can overcome it, even if it feels impossible, even if it feels like you'll never get there, even if it feels like you've had this for your entire life. Like I did. I didn't realize that I had any of this stuff going on until I was 17. And what I realized a few years later, like I mentioned earlier, is I actually had already had all of these things happening for my whole life. And so I never knew anything different. So really, so much more is available to you when you start to kind of step into healing yourself, challenging these really tough disorders and diseases of the mind, let's say. But there are solutions. And hopefully this video will give you a little bit of hope, maybe some perspective, and possibly even foresight of what can come down the road if you choose to step onto the path of getting help and solving some of these challenges. So, yeah, my name's Andrew Goad, and I will talk with you guys later. All right, bye-bye.